We're talking about hookups and my sexual awakening.
With our favourite dating app, Field.
Field was kind of a pivotal, pinnacle app when it came to my sexual journey at the beginning of this year. So obviously the end of 2019, I came out of my 4.5-year relationship where the sex was pretty dead. Let's not beat around the bush. And I had a lot that I wanted to experiment with and explore. At the beginning of this year, I had a couple of really amazing Field dates. Some that like didn't necessarily lead into anything, but it was just like a really nice date and like a great encounter and like a good connection. And then others that like progressed a little bit more sexually and then a lot sexually as well. So like the first ever Field date that I went on was with a guy. We ended up going out for like a tea, coffee thing in the daytime, which actually I find is a really great way of using Field. Because it's so like sex driven, I felt like a little bit too much pressure, especially as I was just dipping my toes back into this world to like go on dates in the evening, because it's like it's almost like too much like we're definitely gonna go home and fuck afterwards.
Yeah, well, that's sexy time.
So if you meet in the middle of the day, you have more like leverage to be like, okay, cool, like I'm off, like this has been nice, and like that's all it was. But like I ended up sitting down with this guy and chatting about like sex parties, and I was just like, wow, it's so amazing to go like on a date with someone that is interested in all the same things that I'm interested in. And like they were also kind of new to Field and like new to exploring and stuff. So I feel like when you're on Field, you always meet people that are very like on similar journeys to you, which is why it's so exciting. And then I went on a date. Someone invited me to like spontaneously to an Arsenal game, and that was from Field. That was so good. And I was exploring like a whole like that was like my rich guy fantasy experience.
And football thug fantasy, apparently.
Well, he wasn't at I don't think he's actually like the sort of guy that like goes to football games regularly at all.
Yeah.
It just so happens that his boss gave him tickets and he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah. Like I think that was the thing with Field, like at the beginning. It was so easy to just sort of like get out there and explore new things. Everyone that I've met off Field has been lovely, and I cannot say that about every single other dating app.
What's on your profile, on your Field dating profile?
So I really pared mine back.
Yeah.
Like since like COVID times. At the beginning I had like, I don't know, like BDSM, like rope play, like all like kink, like when all those desires were there, and I was just like, I'm looking to explore, find like electric connections and like all of that. But now mine just says looking for something more than a one night stand, an electric connection, trying to rediscover what I started this year wanting to explore new things, connections, and live life fully. Into casual vibes, but if it leads for more, I'm also open to exploring what it could be. And then my desires are submissive and light BDSM, and then I just put interests, which are just like movies, traveling, America, vegan pizza. That's it. What's yours say?
Oh, I don't know if I can read all of mine out. Mine is huge.
Really?
Yeah, I like I said, I filled up all the character spaces. I ran out of spaces and I had to really pick and choose what I wanted to write. God. The overall feeling of my profile is so blunt and is so like, I am looking for this. I want this, and this. I'd say who I am, where I'm from, that I'm in the online sex educating space, that we do YouTube, podcasts, directing ethical porn, sex worker activist. I say, to be blunt, I'm looking for casual physical fucks. I'm pretty submissive, wanting to be overpowered. I mean, this is like pretty in-depth. It goes on. I talk about that I really want to explore my tickling fetish. I also talk about my other big kinks like consensual, non-consensual, bondage, verbal control, G-spot stimulation, humiliation, begging, foot play, nipple orgasms, orgasm control, fingers in mouth, taboo, role play, dirty talk, and sex toys, obviously.
I need to up my game on my app. I need to put more of what I'm into on there, for sure.
It's, and then I filled out the desires and the interests loads. I also mentioned that I enjoy being like young and dumb and not full enough of cum. I respect brutal honesty, no mind games. I should really put on here that I'm really into like one night stands?
One night stands.
Yeah, one night stands. But a lot of people say no one night stands, which I think is a bit ridiculous. Why would you say no to that? I feel like that's such a fuckboy thing to write.
Looking for something more than a one night stand.
Because it's like they're expecting women to wanna not wanna be one fuck. I mean, I should really be like, I just wanna be one fuck. Like I'm cool with that. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have met a few dates that I wouldn't meet up with again, but that's not necessarily the app's fault. That's just the people that's on there. Especially if you're meeting a lot of people off of a dating app. And I've met a lot of people off of Field, but then not so many off of other platforms because I don't want to use them. I like Field.
Field is just where our people are at, basically.
It's where people are. I mean, we were talking about characters where you kind of have the sort of the same generic characters on Field where it's like, I'm new and I really want to explore this, or like, I'm a hard dom, I want to do this, you know? Or like the ones that have like some crazy kink and you're just like, what the hell is that?
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
There's someone for everyone on there.
Absolutely. It is fascinating and fun to look through. And now they have this feature where you can go to like a core of a city. So if, say, you live near London, but you don't live in London, you can click London core and you can kind of see what the vibe is there. Or if you're planning to go to Berlin or LA, I mean, you can click LA core or Berlin core before you go and plan to hook up and meet up with people before you go there anyway. It's intuitive. So the main reason why I was on the app was because it was known to be the best app if you're with a partner or if you want to explore threesomes or non-monogamy, open relationships and polyamory and everything under that non-mono umbrella, which is why Thomas and I were on there, because what you can do is you don't have to create a profile for both of you. You can have individual profiles and link them together. So if you're checking someone out, you can see if they've got their partner and you can click on their partner's profile and see. A lot of non-mono couples play separately, not always together.
That's so good. It's so good. I definitely had like a moment with one of my partners at the beginning of this year where we were going through profiles together and we were doing that whole vibe, and that was so amazing to be able to do something so openly on an app.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you can choose to either make your account as a couple account or to have them separately. I think that's like really understanding, because not a lot of couples want to have the same account, you know?
Yeah, because they both want to be able to talk to people and like not have like one person that monitors the app.
And the community on Field generally is quite open with that anyway. I see so many non-monogamous or poly or open relationship couples on there, and you know, the fact that you can search for couples specifically or search for people that are sort of in that realm and lifestyle. And then, of course, when Thomas and I were exploring polyamory, when he moved out, that was just nice and easy to transition to.
During like the beginning of isolation and quarantine at the beginning of 2020, I set my Field to LA core, Los Angeles core, because I wanted to like have virtual online fun with some Americans that they could voice note me and like speak to me in sexy ways. That was actually really cool though. And what's so weird, so many people do this as well, because some guy that I had like been virtually dating just after I graduated from uni, someone that lived in LA because I was gonna go out to LA, found me on Field because him and his girlfriend are getting married in the UK this year.
Whoa.
And so he started messaging me from Field because he went to London core but he's actually in LA. Weird, like so odd.
Little crossover there.
Yeah, really weird little crossover. You can also search by desires on Field, which is really cool because if you're wanting to get into something new like kink or BDSM and you really want to explore your submissive side, then you can search by these terms and find people that are into exactly the same thing that you are. So you'll find your match so easily on Field. I definitely did this. I got to explore my submissive side and a bit of like BDSM and kink through Field as well, like through the desires part of the app. I think that was my like proper awakening moment at the beginning of this year. It was like something that I've really wanted to explore for ages, but I couldn't explore that in my previous relationship. So I was so excited to explore that side of me, and it was something that I knew I was interested in, but my ex-partner just wasn't interested in it. So finding people that were on the same wavelength was a game changer. And I had so much fun. We like explored kind of like daddy dom role play. We did like tying up, like blindfolding, like whips and yeah, like just like real like submissive dom play, and it was a really, really good experience. This is when I say like 2020 had the best sex ever of my life, because like all these things happened and they wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Field.
Yeah, very true. Thanks, Field.
Thanks, Field.
On my field dates, I got to do pegging for the first time last year, which was really cool. I wasn't necessarily expecting to on the date as well, but it was something that we ventured into, and that was like a really fun dom sub switchy date, and lots of virtual fun. I think that was like so good for 2020 because everyone is so up for doing a virtual date first and virtually fucking and virtually chatting, which is really refreshing to hear, rather than something like, I don't want to chat, I just want to meet up, and you're like, well, I can't do it, it's during a pandemic, man. Like, please.
Yeah, I also feel like Field is gonna have like a really big part to play in like what I want to explore in the future as well, because I only just got started this year. COVID kind of put a spanner in the works when it came to my sexual awakening this year, so Field is still gonna be there like on my journey. I'm like really excited to like use it and meet new people from the app. Like I really want to have threesomes with the person I'm sleeping with at the moment, and like I just find Field so exciting because it's exactly what I have always wanted in an app.
Yeah. I think it's just like the general feeling of the app, the people that are on there.
Yes.
That's like the overall scope is just, it's sublime.
I would say like, even though I guess I have a lot of knowledge about sex and I'm really open about it, I still can be really shy and like uncomfortable in new situations because I have social anxiety, and like it is hard to meet new people, and the app has made me feel like safe and comfortable with exploring all of that, which is actually kind of crazy if you think about it.
My future in Field, I just see a lot more shags, like a lot more. I've stopped counting. I think I'm anywhere between 50 and 100 at the moment, and I just want to fuck more people. I want to like go around the world fucking, because I think just sex is so interesting, and seeing how different people work, and communication. The psychology behind communication with like how to discuss sex and how to stop seeing somebody if you don't want to see somebody, and how to say the right thing. It's so fascinating.
I want to like, I think I might like open up to get like an LA pen pal or something. Someone like, I want to line someone up for like when I go over.
That's cute. So yeah, I mean, we've just had really good experiences with Field, and I think both of us, I will definitely keep on using Field for sure.
100%.
I always go back
like,
to Field.
Yeah, even if I get into a relationship, I feel like if I do, it's going to potentially be an open relationship. So Field will always be the place for me.
Yeah, baby. I love it.
Yeah, we love Field. We couldn't recommend it enough. So definitely go down into the description now and hit that link. You need to see what Field is all about. If you are just as explorative, like interested in sex as we are, then Field is for you.
Especially if you have a partner and you're both really wanting to experience threesomes or group sex, or threesomes, moresomes and groups, sex parties when they open eventually. It's definitely recommended. Even if you don't like what you see, it's worth giving it a go for sure.
It's quite intimidating when you first go on Field,
if you're not expecting
so
it.
You kind of know what it's about. There's going to be some really forward people on that app, but like there's everyone on the app as well.
Everybody. Also, get a Majestic account. Like, I cannot tell you how better your online dating app experience will be if you pay for a premium account, if you pay for the Majestic version of it. You just have so many more options out there for you, and it's worth it.
It really is. You also don't get the desires like filter on the search settings if you don't have a Majestic account.
Yeah, and you need that. Especially if you're into something freaky, baby.
I can't wait for all your sexual awakenings on Field. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below of your own Field experiences.
And if you want a little bit more of Florence and I, then please check out our podcast Fucks Given, where we talk more about sex, if you can believe. But if you want to keep up to date with everything that's going on, then go to our Instagram @ComeCurious or our personal accounts Reed Amber X and Florence Bark.
And you will hear from us very, very soon.
Very soon. We love you all.
Bye. Love you.